Hey everyone, welcome to Data Science in Everyday Life. Today I'll be showing you how to use OpenAI function calling to get outputs in a very specific format that can be really useful for applications in production. So let's go ahead and run this Colab notebook. Here I'm just basically importing the various packages, and then here I'm just putting in the OpenAI key. Okay, so the idea is, let's say you have something like this, where you have this as the context and you want to maybe get some information from it. So this is a news article about various events that are happening, weather-related events in different parts of India and Pakistan. And so what function calling enables you to do is to basically call this and get the outputs in a very structured format. So it's super interesting. Okay, so here I define the function. The name is basically it's get cyclone, and then the description here is get the cyclone impact information as tuples containing the location and the impact from the context. Um, and then these properties are just some more information about this function. This is basically the structured format that it'll have. It'll have, the type is it is an array. It's an array of strings here, right? It's a type of string, and this is the description. It contains the location and impact as basically tuples. All right, so let's go ahead and run it. And you can basically give the function as the argument in this functions equals function here. And then in function call, you'd put the name as the same name here. Okay, so let's go ahead and print the completion. Okay, so the context is not defined. I've not yet defined this. Okay, and let's run it again. All right. So now you can see basically just how we specified it. There's in the arguments, there is uh, impacts here, and in the impacts, it should have these tuples of location and impact. And let's go ahead and see if that's true. Okay, so here's the impact, right? So you can see um, the location. So Gujarat, India, and then what happened? Roofs blown off houses, trees and electric poles uprooted, leaving thousands without power. Um, and then you can see there's another one, Karachi, Pakistan, minor impact with rain important in some areas. Next here, I can ask it to give me other kinds of information. Um, where in this case, I don't want to get, this is get cyclone where it's location and impact. But let's say I also want to get things like location and date. Um, so, then I'm calling get cyclone 2. Um, and so let's see what answer it gives. Okay, so it gives the hurricane date as Gujarat, June 16th. As you can see, this is the hurricane date. So in this case, you're asking it to give 2 bits of information. One of them is the impacts. The other one is the hurricane date. So as you can see here, the hurricane date gives you the date information, and the impact gives you like the location. So India, roofs were blown off. Pakistan, this was what happened, etc., etc. Okay. So let's pause here and basically a quick overview is that function calling helps you get really structured outputs. Now, you could also put more guardrails if you wanted particular formats. Like, let's say, you know, um, you didn't want this to be very wordy, or you wanted a different delimiter. You could play around with that. But now let's move on to another thing that I think is really cool, which is, you know, I've personally had some frustration when dealing with querying SQL databases, just because you need to exactly know how to write queries. Um, And you might think that something should be easy enough for a machine to understand, but SQL can be very structured. And this is where OpenAI comes in, and it can make, you can query a SQL database now by giving a very unstructured kind of question, and we'll see how we can do that. All right, so this database here is basically containing information from an app that I built, and it has various bits of things like, you give a link and you ask a question, and basically what the app does, it's called Answer Chat AI, is it scrapes the data from this link, and then it gives you an answer. And maybe I should make another video on this, but this is essentially how the app is, right? Like you can put any website. So let's say I even put this sort of meta, right? I put uh, this website in there, and then I press search. Okay, and then I can ask, what is this, right? Query. And you can see, right? Answer Chat AI is a service that claims to be able to extract information from custom documents quickly and accurately using AI. It is described as a three-step process right here, where users can upload a URL or text, ask a context-specific question, and receive their answer. So yeah, this is pretty cool. And what's happening is this is basically being stored in a database, and you can see these various fields here. But again, I don't want to go into too much detail. But basically, what you need to do if you want to query this, CSV file that contains all this information is that you need to give it in a certain format, first of all, for OpenAI, and then create a function and query it. So first, you need to create a table name. You need to connect, SQLite database to it, and then create a, SQLite table, which is sort of, I think it's built into Python. Like SQLite comes as a default with Jupyter Notebooks and Python. Okay. Once you do that, you define some functions for returning a list of table names, returning a list of column names, returning a list of dictionaries containing table name and columns for each table in the database. You define the schema. And then what you can do is you can query, you can make a function in this format to query the database. So, and then you define another function that basically calls this function called ask database, and another one here called execute function call. And then you need to define a get chat response to basically, when you're querying this database to extract the right database information from the OpenAI chat message. And here, okay, so you can ask the question, hi, what are the common 5 questions that are most common? And let's see what it answers. Yeah, it should answer something like this. Okay, yeah, this is pretty cool. So you can ask, what are the most common, 6 questions, right? Yeah. So I think this is pretty cool because this could potentially even revolutionize the way we query databases, right? So you can have non-technical folks asking very specific questions, maybe even like sales representatives or other customer representatives who might not be the best at SQL, but really know their customers and really know what kinds of questions to ask. And then they can use techniques like this. So I think this is going to be a new paradigm for the future. Um, All right, let me know your thoughts. And as always, if you like this video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you all very soon in data science in everyday life. Bye.